Hey, you guys, welcome to Splinterlands TV. It is I, the Psy, and we are back on another Thursday. I see People's Guild here in the house and the Fizz already ready to go. How's it going, everybody? Hope you guys are having a good one. Fair dinkin' indeed. Yes, sir. Is that what they say down in Australia? Is fair dinkin'? Brawl time. Yeah, buddy. Well, I wasn't even planning on entering my Brawl team, but I have like a kind of a cool story about my Splinterlands direction that I'm going right now. I don't know how if I like it more or less than the previous way I was playing Splinterlands, but I think that it's kind of cool. So I'm just going to kind of like share this way that I've been doing it. It's not as time intensive as my previous ways of kind of playing Splinterlands have been, but I found that I just don't have as much time right now. So I've been looking for other ways to like kind of play. And a lot of you guys know that I've been kind of like going on with Wild, and I bought just like tons of wild card lately to go and like up my wild game because that's what I feel like I'm going to be playing with almost primarily in for like the coming future, just because of the lack of time that I have. So you can see that that I've got a few like good wild cards these days rolling. I don't see any of them being used, which makes me kind of sad. There we go. A Furious Chicken gets still used every now and then, and there's a Living Lava that got used, so that makes me kind of happy. And I just recently purchased a max level Cornelius from Brybro. So thanks, Brybro. I appreciate that, my man. He gave me a really good deal on it and everything. So I've got max level Cornelius on the team now as well, which is one of those key cards. I feel like if you got like ranged only and you can field the Cornelius, you're probably going to win because you just put him in front. He's got the reflect and he's got the heal and everything. He's just so good. So I've got a Cornelius now. And yeah, I've just been kind of grinding out wild. Now, the way that I'm kind of, did I get myself a llama yet? No, no llama. I don't think I'm ever going to have a llama. I don't think I'm ever going to have those cards that are still expensive and have always been, even during the crash, that were always like multiple $100s to max. I think that I'm just like priced out of those things. Or if like my options are I can buy one max llama or like 20 different max untamed cards, then I'm gonna buy the 20 maxed untamed cards just because it gives me a lot more bang for my buck than just like one big card, you know? So that's kind of like the way that I've been trying to do it. Max llama is 200 now, but 200 is still a lot for me. So it's like, I don't know, man. Like if I had the choice between paying 200 for a llama or getting myself like, let's just look at the market here quickly. I'll show you guys like the kind of ways I've been going wide, right, with my collection kind of stuff. Oh, I'm in beta right now because I'm looking at beta cards too. But if I, is this still here? Oh, it's gone. It's gone. I already got one, right? But there was another one that was 8-star 115 BCX that was available for 20 bucks. So, like, those are the kinds of things I'd rather have 10 deals like max level Kelp Initiates. I'd rather have 10 max level Kelp Initiate type cards than one llama, you know? And that's kind of the way that I've been looking at it, is just like going a lot more wide with the collection instead of just going for like 5 good cards, trying to get like 50 good cards. And I feel like I've been able to accomplish that. Like things like the Living Lava here. Oh my God, it's up to 75 bucks. I got a max level Living Lava for like $12, right? And I picked up this cool little 5-star here for like $5 or $6 or something like that. It was maybe $6 because I was like, hey, people are going to want it at the level where it gets rust, right? So I managed to pick that guy up too. But seeing this kind of thing is very nice. And it makes me happy that instead of buying that one llama for 200, that I bought all those $10 like living lavas, which are now worth 74.98, you know, theoretically 74.98. We all know it's not the way it goes, but it just turns out that it ended up being a much better deal than having bought the one llama for 200 because I got like 20 living lava quality cards instead for that same 200. So I'm really happy by going wide the way that I did it. Um, bought a Max Lorcus the other day. Ooh, Lorcus is so good. Lorcus is so good. New promo cards are available on challenges. That's very interesting. So they've already got them up to at least into the test play mode with challenges. I think that one guy is going to be insane. The sneak blast guy. I think he's going to be like a must buy, imperative to have in your collection kind of guy. So So I don't know how things are going to end up going with that, but he's much, in my mind, he's much more desirable than the rear cleanse guy who was the previous rare. Hopefully there's something good with him at 25 or 40 BCX, because that's where people like me can kind of get our cards to, is the way I'll phrase it. I could get like a good, if it was a solid 25 BCX, gives him like the blast and 3 attack, I would be happy. If at 25 BCX he had 3 attack and a blast with his sneak, I would be set. That would at least be something I could use that's playable and that's affordable for someone like me. Would be at 25 BCX if he had at least 3 attack and he had blast to go with his sneak. I'd be happy. That's something I could afford. That's something I could afford. Gotta fix the blast execute interaction. You know what? They've done a lot of really weird. Blast is max level. Of course it is. Of course it is. So I'm priced out of the promo. Great. Like, man, Fat Jimmy's always saying, give something to the little people, at least make it so in this promo, the little people can do something. But no, if they put Blast at max, then I'm done. I'm cooked. And that's maybe that's good. Maybe that's part of the reason why it's good for me to be focusing more on wild with like the older cards. Just because, man, I just can't afford, I can't afford to go and get the like max level cards every month. I know they're going to do it for 2 weeks and they're 2 weeks off, then 2 weeks on, then 2 weeks off, then 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. I'm just a regular dude, man. I cannot afford max level cards once a month like that are going to be like a couple $100. So, wow, that's disappointing that they made his most playable like abilities at the top. See, in my mind, everything should always be like geared towards accessibility. And Fat Jimmy thinks the same way. I love Fat Jimmy. Geared towards being at least accessible to the smaller player, you know? And that means to me, you want to run a promo like this? Great, by all means, run this awesome promo, but at least make its lower BCX amount, whether it's 25 or 40, because it's 40 for good cards like Tower Griffin, but it was 25 for the previous promo, that Vicar guy or whatever it was that had the reverse cleanse. But at 25 or 40, giving it blast, that would have been like achievable for a greater amount of the players. But making it only at the 115 when that's obviously its best quality, crazy, just crazy. So I'm not gonna say I'm bitter. I'm just gonna say like, hey, I knew these promos weren't for me anyway, as just like a regular guy. And I guess it's just the way that it is. It's just the way it is. But you can see that I've played 0 modern games as well. So I've literally played 0 modern games, aside from in tournaments and things like that. I'm literally just chilling on having no rating whatsoever on the leaderboard right now. And I'm doing that very deliberately. Like I was saying, I'm trying a new way to play. The new way to play for me is I was always grinding daily. Like I was daily grinding out for probably like at least an hour, hour and a half. Getting my rounds in. And I really only like to expend like 24 energy a day, that way it's recharged after the next day, or 25 energy. That way it gets fully recharged and you spend 25 and that way it's fully recharged. And even just spending 20 energy, that's a lot, man. That's 25 battles. You got to wait for the match liquidity. You got to play through them. You got to wait for the other player to finish entering their team if you enter your team first. Like it really does end up taking like an hour and a half, sometimes like longer than that, depending on how things go. 2 hours even maybe, not unheard of, not unreasonable, not necessarily a bad thing if you've got tons of time, I just don't have that time right now to be able to put into the game the way that I used to be able to and the way that I want to. So that's why I've kind of switched a lot of my stuff over to Wild already. And that's where like my energy is being used is in Wild. But I am now focusing, as I always have, I've got guilds. So I'm always doing my guild brawls, right? So we can see I've got guild brawls ready to be entered. I'm always contributing to guild brawls. But the other thing that I've started to do is I've started again. Ooh, really? Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that it had started yet. I've started again entering tournaments. And it's for a few reasons. The first reason is I find that the payout's really, really good. Like I can normally end up in the position when I'll get like maybe top 32. Even if I'm top 64, that's 102 SPS, right? Let's assume though that I top 32 and I get 200, just for illustration purposes, okay? Let's assume that I top 32 and I get 200. I ended up getting 800 in one win earlier this week. I got over 800 SPS for coming in like I don't even know what my placing was, but I got 800 SPS for it. It felt great. But let's just say that I come in 32nd, I get 205 SPS. And I know that in Modern, I'm picking up normally close to 16 SPS on a win. And in Wild, I'm picking up only 6 SPS a win. Okay, so it's a big difference between what I'm getting SPS wise. I'm actually getting more glint playing in Wild, but I'm getting less SPS. But suffice to say that I'm getting like 6 SPS per win in this. But when I go in and I factor in the fact that now I'm playing and using my available time into these tournaments, uh, like I am just find that I'm just getting a lot more SPS just through playing tournaments and letting myself bot on Wild while using error loading or tournament doesn't exist while using less time. So it's taking me, here we go. So I came in 23rd here and look at my prize. So I managed to load up. My prize was 822 SPS. And if I'm looking at earning only 6 SPS per win, let's call it 8 SPS per win, okay? Let's assume that I do really good. But if I'm earning 8 SPS per win, that's 102 wins that I got off of this 822 SPS. That's the equivalent of 102 wins in Wild. So, I mean, that's pretty incredible. And that's why I think that my time is better devoted with the limited time that I have to actually just trying to grind tournaments instead of grinding modern right now. Like, if I'm on a time crunch, and I never knew that it was going to be this much, like, I never knew I was going to be earning this much, but on a time crunch, I mean, 822 SPS for a win, and that's only one tournament. Like I won 300 SPS from other tournaments as well this week, or this past season, I should say as well. And that 822 as well, if I'm looking at like 16 SPS per win in Modern, is the equivalent of winning 50 Modern matches, which if you're winning 50% is pretty much like 4 days worth of battling, right? Because look at it this way, if it's 51 wins, right, at 16 SPS per win, then just call that 25 wins per day, right? Over 2 days, because you're 25 energy, right? 50 energy is 2 days. You're winning 50%, double that. That's literally 4 days worth of gameplay in Modern to earn that 822 SPS at 16 SPS per win. So I just feel like I'm at the point right now when I've so little time and I can't really grind Modern the way that I want to, that I may as well let myself bot on Wild and finally start engaging in these tournaments that I haven't really been engaging in previously. Like I've just been like, I don't have time for tournaments. Tournaments kind of suck. But I mean, the payout on these tournaments is actually pretty good. And just the fact that you can literally win 4 days worth of Modern tournaments at 50% win rate, getting 16 SPS per win, just for coming in like in the 20th, the 20s. I'm very happy with this new system. I regain a lot more of my life than I had playing Modern by doing it this way. And don't get me wrong, if I had tons of time, if I was a single guy, maybe I had a girlfriend, but she didn't care if I gamed every night and stuff like that for long periods of time or something like that, I would grind Modern and play in tournaments and play in brawls, and I can't even imagine what that would stack up looking like, at the end of the season, what my SPS would look like. But in the position I'm in right now, with the amount of time that I have that I can devote to these kind of things, like just gaming, period, this is my new way, I think, is to just like leave Modern alone because I just don't have an hour and a half a day to devote to it. That's when you think about it comparatively, you sleep 8 hours, hopefully you try and sleep 8 hours, okay? You're awake 16 hours, and of that 16 hours, I'm devoting an hour and a half of it to Splinterlands was just too much. I couldn't get my jobs done, But being able to play on Wild with my bot, engage in, I always click conflicts instead of events, engage in these tournaments, and then also be able to do my brawls, that is something that I can do on a timeline wise. I can fit this into my life. And on top of being able to fit this into my life, I can also go ahead and I can still like play with the market and do those other fun things like reply on Discord and stuff like that, right? But it was just becoming too overwhelming previously, and I like my new setup. I feel like I've got my life more under control, if you know what I'm saying. It was just too much. All right, let's see. I'm bitter, I'll say it. Too much froth in your life before winter hits or what? Yeah, and I mean, obviously I'm gonna prioritize if I can if my buddies are like, let's disc golf, or if it's like the middle of the day, the sun is shining outside, and I'm like, what do I want to do with my son? Do I want to like play in my backyard with him and like go on the swings or something like that? Maybe let him watch a little Danny go so he can like learn to dance and stuff like that. Do I want to do that, or do I want to go out and play disc golf or something like that? You know, Splinterlands when it comes to either kid time or spending time outdoors is obviously like last place, as it should be pretty much in my mind, at least for most video games. Even if they're play to earn video games, you know, if the weather is nice and you have the opportunity to go and do something with like your kid, like I'm gonna go and do that. I'm not gonna just play Splinterlands, you know. Like we were at the park today, amazing. Then I came home and I didn't even know that the brawl had started, you know. And I'm gonna have to leave the brawl, in fact, for tomorrow, because I'm busy later tonight as well. I gotta go and I gotta finish doing some work on some laundry that I have set aside. Like when I'm done this stream, I still gotta do some laundry when I'm done aside, and then I want to spend some time with my wife, you know, watch a movie and stuff like that. I can't. It's just like I used to be. I'm gonna go and take this a different direction. I used to be very anti-bot when I first started playing. I was so anti-bot. Um, I must have had a lot more time on my hands. You know, it was during the COVID times and stuff like that when I was playing, and I just had like time. I just had time to play. You know, I just had time. I could just play Splinterlands all day long. As I've had more and more responsibility, I've just found that I love being able to just have the bot run for me and just do its thing. I just love the fact that I can have my bot run. I can still engage in Splinterlands through the tournaments and through the brawls and through like the market, which I still love to go and look at. But like that, like I said, that hour and a half of play can be almost completely mitigated. And I can still like play Splinterlands while not playing Splinterlands. And it's all pretty much thanks to the bot. Without the bot, I think that I'd have a lot less interest in Splinterlands right now, to be honest with you. I think that my interest would have waned in Splinterlands because they don't have the time to devote to it. Therefore, I'd be falling behind on like the glint, and I'd log in and I'd have nothing to actually like, I'd have no glint to spend or anything like that. My reward cards would be falling behind. And all because it's just like, hey, you know, you miss a few days. So I'm actually kind of loving the bot right now. I'm loving that in my situation that I'm in right now, like the family wise, the work that I've just got to get done and stuff around the house and things like that. The fact that disc golf does exist and it's like nice here in Canada right now. I love the bot. I can't even deny it. I love the bot. How much glint am I getting in wild? Here, I'll show you. So somehow I'm not even a champion right now. I'm in gold. Oh, I am a champion. Okay, so I'm a champion too. When I win, I get 1,300 glint. And I mean, when I was winning in modern, I was getting around 1,100 glint. So I actually get more glint in wild, probably because I'm just higher. Like I'm in champ 2 in wild, and I'm normally champ 3 in modern. But yeah, I'm getting like 1,300 glint to win. And you know, I get 6 SPS. Sometimes that goes up to 8. I've had like 8 SPS. There's 7, 7, 6, 5, 6, basically 6. So it averages around 6, maybe 7. Um, but I mean, man, I'm happy to just get the 1,300 glint. Like, and obviously I'm still engaging with the game, or I wouldn't be going and doing like even a stream right now. But it's just very interesting the way that my gaming has become with Splinterlands, just given the fact that I have no time. It lets me, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like an old friend. And you know how it is that there are some friends that you're going to have, and maybe you've had them since childhood, and you don't see each other all the time anymore. And you're like, okay, buddy, you live in a different city and things like that. But whenever we meet up, it's like we've never left. You know, it's like that we never spent any time apart. That's kind of like the way that it feels with Splinterlands because of the fact that I can be on a bot. I can come in, I can go, I can check out my scores, I can review my battles. I can be like, oh wow, look at this one over here. Like, what is this, wild? I can be like, okay, so even in wild, it looks like they really just like to spam tofu, right? And chicken gets played a lot, and like, you know, oh, my nightmare did some work for once. So it's exciting to just go and like look back on it, regardless of anything else that's happening, you know? Um, I'm just loving it. I'm just loving it. Hank says, my Xbot got into the top 50 last season, 20K in DEC. Nice work, Hank. See, that's what I mean. And the fact is that you didn't have to spend an hour and a half a day doing that either, which you got less SPS. And I love SPS. And if I had time to grind for SPS, I would do it for sure. You know, I just don't have the time. But having the bot keeps me engaged. It keeps me able to keep playing Splinterlands by like at least getting the glint, by at least getting the glint and buying the cards and engaging in the market and checking out the game and the stats and doing the events now, I guess, which is my new thing I'm rocking, and my guild brawls. So I'm pretty happy. You watch all your wild battles. Wow. How many more cards do I need before you get a max GFUT? All right, so I'm not going to have GF, but buddy, I'll show you guys. I started off with nothing, basically. I'm going to show you guys right now in my items. I started with nothing in Untamed and Beta, basically. I had like 5 or 6 cards, okay? Check out my Untamed collection now, though. 5-star Serpentine, and I did a video on the minimum usable level, right? So I think 5-star Serpentine's minimum usable, right? Because it got to 3 attack and everything like that, which is great. 11 cents each. I think I picked my guys up for like 4 cents or something like that, which is great. Let's go back. But I mean, all of these cards, let's just look at the legendaries. Let's just look at the legendaries, okay? So I mean, I picked up a 2-gun Pete just to have a 1-drop here. I picked up all these Lord Darius. I picked up these Lord Darius right here. See, oh my god. I got these Lord Darius for like $3 each. What the hell? I literally bought these Lord Darius for like $3 each. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna put in another $20. I bought this yesterday. For like nothing. Like, let's just take a look. This is how things are moving. Oh man, I love I love Splinterlands because of stuff like this. Market history. All right, here we go. Lord of Fire. See, I bought 1 Lord of Fire. I just bought up a bunch of failed. High Priest Darius. Here it is. Look. Purchase High Priest Darius. Look at this right here. September 25th. Today's the 26th. So this was yesterday. I bought a High Priest Darius 3-star for $20. For $16.20. For $16.20 yesterday, I bought a 6 BCX. I bought a 6 BCX High Priest. Look. Yesterday, I bought a 6 BCX for $16. Today, a 1 BCX is $18. And look at these other guys that I just happened to have picked up. I bought these guys because they were like $2. I was like, I'm not just going to leave them for $2. And now I turned that $2 into, who knows, maybe 12, right? But regardless, like, man, this is why I'm happy that I went wide, that I spread it out instead of getting the 1 llama. Instead of getting the 1 llama for $2.13, I got things like the $20 High Priest Darius and stuff like that for the 6-star High Priest. Right here, like I said, wow, I just can't believe. Did someone just buy this right in front of us? Did someone just buy more High Priest Darius and list more right in front of us? They did, because there was something else there, wasn't there? Crazy. We're seeing it happen like right now, guys. We're seeing the market capitulate. But yeah, I mean, items, Untamed. So I picked up the High Priest. I actually got this Crawlus. I got this 2-star Crawlus. So the Crawlus with heal, which is what you need, right? You need a healing Crawlus. I got this for like $20. I got it for like $20. No joke. I got this guy for like $20. I still wish that I could afford one of these guys. I'd love to pick up a $40 Oaken Behemoth for those magic only matches. And just be like, hey, what's up? I happen to have this guy in 2nd position and a guy with Void in 1st position. Hey-oh. I'd love to pick him up. I managed to pick up like a Dragon Jumper max for $23. I'm not even joking. Yes, a max Dragon Jumper for $23. You heard correctly. Right now, the cheapest one you could get would be $40. I got one for $23. I've got a max. I got this guy maxed, and I got him for like $6 a BCX. I got Almo Cambio for $6 a BCX, basically, all the way to max. I even picked up a 3-star Almo Cambio at $5.55 a BCX. Someone thought they'd be cool and do $5.55 per BCX, and I bought that. So yeah, my Untamed is doing good. My beta is also impressive these days. Like, I don't know if I'd say impressive, but I've got some good beta legendaries. Like, I've got some decent beta legendaries. Like a 3-star Lord Orianthus, I think is good. I've got this Frost Miner to the point when he's got haste. Like, I think that's good. I picked up a Singleton. I bought this Lord of Darkness yesterday. All right, let's look at this Lord of Darkness, okay? Check this out. So I bought this Lord of Darkness just for kicks. I was like, hey, look, there's a Lord of Darkness for $665 for sale. It was the cheapest Lord of Darkness. $665. I was like, I'm just going to buy this Lord of Darkness just to have it. You know what? I've never owned a Lord of Darkness. I bought it $665 yesterday at 8:34 p.m. So literally like 25 hours ago. Lord of Darkness. No 1 BCX available for sale whatsoever. I got for $665 for a 1 BCX. Like, let's see what this guy is. All right, these guys are still a good deal. These two I'd say are good deals. If I had money, I'd like just buy them. And then hope for the best, you know? But man, I'm just so pumped right now. Missed opportunity selling a Lord of Darkness for $666. Yeah. Spirit of the Forest is your white whale? Buddy, it was my white whale for so long, and then I got my 3-star, which is what I can afford and where it gets good because of the protect. So I've got my 3-star, but even now you look at it, like, look at this. If it was ever your white whale, oh, that's only a 2-star. Is it 5? It's only 5 for it, eh? Ooh, tough one. Tough because you'd have to do 3, 4, 5. But you could still get one for $63. When I first started playing, Spirit of the Forest was like $50 a BCX. Now you can get a 5-star for 63. We're back in the good old days. And I mean, I lost my shirt on my Chaos Legion like everyone else. Like, buddy, I always say this. I bought 50 packs in the pre-sale and had to buy vouchers at $20 a voucher to be able to get those 50 packs. I was buying vouchers at $20 a voucher to get the 50 packs in the pre-sale to get one Dr. Blight. So basically, I was one of the people who got screwed the most because I couldn't really afford to do what I was doing, but I was just so into it that I did it and ended up paying like $1,000 worth of vouchers for, you know, my 50 packs of Chaos Legion. And that was just in the vouchers, right? Plus another, I guess, would be $200 for the Chaos Legion packs themselves. So it was bad. It was bad. But yeah, we got things drying up. Exactly like Ank is saying, card market's drying up. And I'm happy to have the cards that I have at the prices I got them at. This is one that I wish that I could have gotten. This one right here still looks so good to me. It would fulfill my dreams and my hopes of owning a Hydra if I just had like that 45 to put into it. I would love that one for 45. That's totally where it could be. Because Hydra in my mind, I've always looked at it like the guy you want kind of in the back, you know? Someone sneak attacks you. Oh, look, thorns. And hey, why not? I'll retaliate. And look, I'll heal from your sneak attack that you did to my Hydra. So I've always wanted this guy. If I had to have a white whale right now, it'd be this Hydra right here for 45 bucks. That would be like my Hydra, my dream. What about my hopes, my dreams? It makes me want to do this. It makes me want to go to land and take dark energy off it. I've already been using my dark energy for other things. You know what? What's the price of DEC right now? 0.008. Oh, I so want to cash out some DEC and get that Hydra, man. Oh, he's a fellow brawler? You might strike a deal? Oh, dude. Oh, man. Well, now that I know, I'm sure I could probably get 6% off. Like, he's probably at least give me market fees off. But, all right, Arik. All right, I'm going to have to make a note. For Arik. I'll talk to him right now. Let's see if he replies. I'll be like, Arik, want to give me a deal on your, here we go. At Arik? Where is he? Arik the Red. Hey, Arik. Want to give me a deal on that 5 BCX Hydra? PM me. Actually, you know what? I should probably be the one PMing him. That's right. We don't want to make that public. Be like, yo, I don't know how to contact him. Oh, I hate it. Oh, I suck so bad at Discord. Oh my god. All right, well, I'll message him later. It just shows how terrible I am. I don't even know how to do it. But there we go. So yeah, that's my little story that I have about basically my new way that I'm playing Splinterlands right now, which I find it very refreshing actually at the moment to like have regained the time, but also be able to participate in the game and the ecosystem, while not putting in basically say 9 like 10 or 11 hours of my week, 12 hours of my week. I love it. I'm now pro bot. I'm now very pro bot. I'm not pro bot farm. There's a big difference, okay? I'm not pro bot farm. That's where I take exception because obviously my account's not an extractor account. And the reason why I say that is because like an extractor account is only there to make the money, right? I'm there to be able to continue with the game. I'm putting in money into the ecosystem. I'm clearly not an extractor. Sure, I'm extracting using the bot and stuff like that and getting that glint, and I'm not actually playing, but I'm getting rewarded for playing, but I think that that's a very different thing than being a bot farm. All right, very different thing. One is keeping your account active using the resources that you have, and the other is I'm literally only in it to make money by setting up a ton of like more than I'll ever use worth of bots with the sole purpose of sucking money out of the ecosystem. Two very different things. Click on their name and send a friend request. I don't even know how. I don't know how to do it. Search for Arik. Arik the Red? What if I just search for him? Aha! Now if I search for him, I can click on him, and by clicking on him, I can message. And can I see each other V? Hey, Eric. Would you like to give me a deal on that 5BCX Hydra? I would appreciate it as a fellow brawler. Smiling face. LMK. Yes, all right. Thank you. Okay. I totally pulled the heartstrings by saying I'm a fellow brawler. So let's see if he wants to hook me up. Good call. Good call. Exactly, yeah. The bot puts my assets to work when I literally have no time to play and otherwise would be out of the game, kind of like for possibly days on end sometimes. Like I went away for 2 weeks on vacation, right? I wasn't playing Splinterlands during that 2 weeks. I did make a video and stuff because I'd stalk Discord. I can't completely remove myself. It's too like I just can't do that. Same with the YouTube videos. I'm always watching like the YouTube videos and things like that. I can't stop doing that. But as far as like the sitting down and literally putting in the time, I love being able to have the bot backing me up. And that vacation I took, like I felt relieved to have that to just have the bot working for me. The Fizz watched that video. Yeah, and things ended up working out with the 10x. I mean, in the end, it was fine. The world's not falling. I mean, the 10x is fine. Yeah. If the rental market picks up, we don't need the bots to work our assets. Agreed. But right now it is. And the ultimate work would be if I was to still play in Wild and I were to rent out my Rebellion cards and still bought Wild. I think that would be the ultimate combination of making the most money possible in the game. If that's the way you were like looking at it, you'd win a little bit less, so you'd get less reward SPS. You wouldn't be able to enter the Rebellion only events like tournaments and stuff like that, but you would be able to have those rented out for a huge amount of money. Because when we look at the market, right, and we were to go and look at Rebellion, this is like the max, right? This is the max. Like, look, 37.50 for rent. Well, there's only a 2-star for rent right now for 99. So let's see if we can figure out what it's actually renting for. Let's try and find its statistical data here. If we were to go over here and we were to go to tools. No, we don't want that. We want none of this. We want market. All right. Splinterlands market. And let's look up Brave Tofu. Market. Brave Tofu. All right, filters. Name Brave. Brave Tofu. What the? Brave Tofu. Nothing found. Why? Why is this happening? Reset. Nothing found. Huh. That doesn't make sense. Splinterlands Market. Name. Brave. Okay. He's not here. Am I doing something wrong? Tofu. Let's just try tofu. T-O-F-U. T-O-F-U. There he is. It's Eternal Tofu. Oh my god. I keep talking Brave Tofu because that's the name of the guy who's like actually plays him. Oh my god. Why isn't Brave Tofu showing up? Because he's not a card. All right. So Eternal Tofu. Here we go. So let's just take a look here. So 4-star. We don't want that market. Oh god. We want. Why is it not showing it? Missing BCX bid market. Card 6. It's not what I want to do. This isn't what I wanted. All right. So I guess it's just not going to tell me. It's showing me the rental market. Why is it not working? I hate when it does this. Market bids. Here we go. So market. Who knows? All right. I can't figure it out right now. Oh my god. How's it going, Ime? Nice seeing you, buddy. But probably can't stick around long. Yeah, thanks. I've been doing all right. I'm actually kind of sick right now. I'm gonna just have a short stream here today. But yeah, it's nice to see you in the chat. I'm messing up. I can't even figure out how to do what I wanted to do. But maybe there's just no statistical data for it because the people who have Brave Tofu are using Brave Tofu. I don't know. It just makes sense. But for rent, there's only a 2-star 3 for 99. That's what I'm saying. Like it's like if you wanted to rent out your cards, like what's this guy for rent? Like, look, there is no one. There's no way to rent him. You basically get to set the market at this point. Power down. You got to set and when you do rent it out, like it's for good rent. Like we're talking 300 a day. That means that when they go to rent it, they're going to be giving you 600, right? 835. Like, look, 91 for him. I guess he's not that good. This guy's probably not that good. 90. Yeah, not the worst. I don't have this Elias. What's his story? 129. Good. I'm glad that I got rid of it. Cards, $20. And I did not get $20 each for mine. I got $16 each for mine. The ones that I sold so far, I got $16. So I could have held them a little bit longer, but I turned the Elias Max Pruitt that I sold at $16 each into those untamed cards that went crazy. In fact, let's take a look at what my collection value's gone up to now. Nice, 11,000. Like, it was down so low for the longest time, guys. This was at like 5 or 6,000. This is at like 5 or 6. So I've like doubled up in the past like 2 months or so. This has gone double. And I will admit, I have put in probably 500. I put in probably 500 into more untamed and beta cards. But I mean, yes, I mean, things are popping, man. Things are popping. Things are popping. I'm happy. Good Elias luck. I only got 1. Yeah, I was only supposed to get 4 and I got 9. And then I sold 5 of them at basically $16 each. Minus fees, of course. But what I bought with it, though, was Untamed cards. You guys might have been here. I did it on stream with you guys. I was like selling them on stream into the buy prices. And I bought those Untamed cards that you can no longer buy. So I'm happy. I didn't get my $20. I got 16. Still very satisfied because that 16 turned into way more. Yeah, I don't like him a lot either. Reason why, he dies to Tofu. Like, his ability is something that melee strikes, and that means he's going to get dead to Tofu. Tofu's just too OP. He's too meta-defining. He's too meta-warping. Anything to do with, like, melee, I'm just like, meh. You know, meh. It's melee. Meh. I'm just going to die to Tofu, you know? Granted, yeah, and it's in the same colors, too. Like, look, so you'd be like, oh, what do I choose? Do I choose to play Elias Max Pruitt, or do I choose to play Eternal Tofu? And it's like, if you played Max Pruitt and they played Tofu, I guess you just lose, don't you? I guess you just lose. Oh my god, it's even worse than I thought, because don't forget, this guy's also got that armor ability. He's also got Corrosive Ward. So not only is it hitting the guy, but the Corrosive Ward is taking away the armor from the armor strike, no less. Oh, it's so good. It's so good bad. So it's so funny. So Tofu, all right, I'm going to complain for a second here about how good Tofu is and the irony of the whole how good Tofu is. All right, so we all know Tofu is the greatest, all right? That's why it's 3750 at BCX, okay? So Tofu, though, was so good, and look at this, all right? All right, this is just the craziest. So he's green and white. look who he shares with, okay? Look who he shares with. So on the green side, he shares with Risco Drath. So these two on a green only match will both be available to play. If one person plays Drath and the other person plays Tofu, Drath is giving everyone flying, right? But then Tofu gives everyone snare, which totally takes out his Risco Drath, right? I guess Risco Drath, so it's like automatically like, ding, sorry, Risco Drath, you're done, son. And it's extra, and I guess the range strike from Risco Drath does counter Eternal Tofu in a way because, I mean, it's not going to deal the melee damage, but I mean, it's still just like, oh man, you gave all your guys flying and all my guys have snare. Like that's just bad. It's just like Tofu clearly just snuffs out Risco Drath if the choice is between the two of them. Now you also look, and Tofu's other color is white. His partner, that means, is Elias Max Pruitt. And it's so funny because it's the same thing. He smokes Elias Max Pruitt. Even worse, I'd say. Specifically because Elias Max Pruitt here focuses on melee attacks, and Tofu thorns out those melee attacks, right? And then he's all about the armored strike too and stuff like that. He's all about the armored strike, the cleanse, and the armored repair and stuff like that. But he's got the corrosive ward. So he just eats away at the armor anyway. It's like, hey, thanks for hitting me. I'll corrosive ward away your armor. So your armored strike now that you're going to attack with second is going to do less damage. And by the way, enjoy some thorns. And now, hey, thanks for hitting me with that weakened armor strike. Let's once again corrosive ward that armored strike away. And also thorns you a second time. Now you probably don't even have any armor left. And that thorns is going to hit your body. Like, it's just like so crazy that between the green and the white, he counters the other green and he counters the other white. It's like, why bother with Risco Drath and why bother with Elias Max Pruitt in some ways? Just, it's just like, what were you thinking? Oh my God. You know what? At least what they could have done, and this is something that I was a big advocate of it, at least they could have removed the snare from Tofu. Because then it would at least give Risco Drath a chance to breathe, and it would also make it so that if they're flyers, then at least they don't have to suffer eternal Tofu torment, But it would at least make Risco Drath a lot more playable instead of being like hard counter to Risco Drath with the snare when Risco Drath could have actually been the counter to Tofu because it encourages you to use range strikers who aren't affected by the thorns. But the fact they just gave it snare too, it's just like, hey, oh, what's up? I'll just do everything. I literally just do everything. And that's on top of his other ability that if you really wanted to get technical and like weapons train a Grimbarden Smith and then give it triage or something crazy, after it's going to have scavenger and you're just healing it and now it's got 30 hit points. So you're healing your Grimbarden Smith for 10 hit points a turn. Like, it's just like, he does it all. He just does it all, man. It's a cat. He's got to be OP. Yeah. Yeah, he feels so underwhelming in more ways than one. I get it, man. I get it. The fact that you only get one as well. Just bad news. And Andy's given out 3 divine shields. Like, come on, man. Come on. Eternal Tofu, too good. Too good. So yeah, there we go. So that's like I said, I'm not feeling the greatest here today, but I did want to talk a little bit of Splinterlands with everyone. I've got something really special to show you guys. I want to give some thanks to my homeboy DeFizz. DeFizz, if you're still with us, check this out. So my man DeFizz ordered something from a drop. I don't know if it's a dropship site, DeFizz. Maybe you can like kind of clarify there. But he ordered something really cool. I'm gonna switch my camera view here. Hold on. All right. Oh no, close to my face. Oh, Grizzly, don't look, don't look. So he ordered something pretty cool and a humble bundle. So it was a humble bundle that he ordered of these really cool Power Ranger CCGs. So trading card games like Splinterlands is in a lot of ways, right? But then shipping, because he lives in Australia, I hope I didn't like dox you there, was like 120 bucks US or something like that to actually get it to him. So he was like hell, I'm paying 120 US to get this stuff delivered to me. And he goes, Sai, do you want to just pay the shipping and I'll just ship it to you instead because I'm not paying 120 S&H for it. So I was like, oh man, that'd be great. I love Power Rangers. Green Ranger is my favorite and Green Ranger is his favorite too. Not that I'm surprised because Green Ranger is everyone's favorite. And I want to just kind of do a little unboxing here at least because it arrived, the package arrived. and show you guys what ended up arriving in this Humble Bundle so the Fizz can also kind of live vicariously through me and at least see what it is that he could have received if he wanted to pay, basically just get, taken advantage of in shipping. So, we play Splinterlands as CCG, but here's an example of another CCG that exists on the market, right? But you have to actually have friends to play this kind of game. Check this out. So this is one part of what arrived. The Power Rangers deck building game. So I'm eager to I'm not going to totally unbox it and take it all apart here or anything like that. But I want to show you guys what came in this Humble Bundle, all right? And it's thick too. So this is, from what I've read about, the main card game itself. I love deck builders too. Dominion is my favorite deck builder though. It's an oldie and a goodie. It's a classic. I love Dominion. But here you go. So the Power Rangers, and you can see kind of some of the cards on the back as the example, right? So see, DeFizz, you chose the right guy. You know, if I love Dominion, that I'd be down for this kind of thing. So you got your cards and everything like that, and you set it up. Now, I thought that when DeFizz was talking to me, that this is what he was talking about. He was like, "You get just this main box, and we'll ship it." And I was like, you know what? I don't even care. I'm down with Power Rangers, so I'm down with getting this thing. Little did I know that a Humble Bundle is so much more than just this one main set. So DeFizz, thanks again. Here we go. Here's the main set for you. This is what it looked like. We got Rita. Rita's looking, I gotta admit, she's looking pretty hot. This is not the Rita that I remember. This is not the Rita from when I was young, I'll tell you that much. So, it's all the DLC. So here's part 2. Power Rangers Zeo, another giant box. Check this out. Boom. So you can see again, this is one of the expansion sets for it. Just like in Dominion and all the other games, you can buy all these expansion sets and everything. So this is Zeo, stronger than before. So this is one of the expansion sets that he sent to go along with it as part of the Humble Bundle. And when this thing arrived, it was this big box, and I was like, did I order something off Temu or something like that? Is this like an AliExpress order that I made that I've been waiting for forever? But no, literally, I gave him the money. DeFizz entered my address, and it was literally 3 or 4 days later, or showed up on my doorstep. He was like, did it already arrive? I was like, it did already arrive. We were both like, how is this possible? But it arrived. Now, you might think that's all, but it's not. It's not. Flying Higher, right here. Another one of the expansions. Boom, Flying Higher. Deck building expansion. Here it is. So another one of the expansion sets. Probably some cool cards in it. And the bonus box number 2. I'm not sure what's going to be in here, but it's part of Zeo. As well as, check this out, the bonus pack number 3 for Flying Higher. Who knows what this is? But it's the bonus pack. And finally, a cute little sticker. Renegade Game Studios. And look, it gives 10% off my next order. I hope you didn't see my my promo code. Some of those are meant to become gold foils. Maybe a lot of the TCGs I play have things like gold foils, which is the perfect segue into the final thing I wanted to talk about tonight. Okay, let's get back to the main gaming screen here. Just give me a second here. So DeFizz, I want to say thanks again, buddy. Look at the size of this. When you stack it all up, look at all this stuff, man. Look at it all. Thanks, buddy. I'll put it to good use. Green Ranger and I will put it to good use. Yeah, all right, I'm back. So jelly. Yeah, buddy. I just can't believe they want to charge you 120 on SNH. That's wild, man. That's wild. Okay, so last thing I want to talk about here today is I know there's lots of promos that are going down. All right, we just had some promo sales and everything like that. Where are they of the legends? We got the new legends that are coming and everything very soon with the Night Stalker and the Delia. Things are looking good, but there's some discussion on how can we actually add value just to packs in the future. Just to packs, just to be encourage us to buy more Rebellion packs. What can we do? And what other kind of promotions can we run and stuff like that? Because I'll be honest, I'm a little iffy with that 100 cards in 100 days promotion, because I just feel like 100 cards is too few for the market. And if we're going to have if the expectation is to have thousands of new players come in, and yet only a few elite people have this card that there's only 100 of them that exist, like that's just an accessibility issue that's going to arise from that, right? So I don't really like that as one of the ideas as the promotions personally, just because, like I said, I feel like if more people come in, which is the goal is to have tons of people. You can't have something so exclusive, especially if it's a meta card, all right, that other people can't get it. Just imagine if there were only 100 Venkas and no one else could get a Venka. Like then those people that had the 100 Venkas, they would just be untouchable. And that's what I worry about with this promo. But I wanted to go and show you some other things that I feel, or the other thing that I think would probably be the best way to incorporate more value into Splinterlands packs, okay? And I'm going to use Magic as my analogy. When I'm going ahead and I'm looking for Magic cards, you always pretty much go to TCG Player, okay? So TCG Player has the cheapest prices. It's got the most competition, basically, and it's, well, basically the way to go. You know, if you want to get cheap cards, you go to TCG Player, all right? I'm going to go to Duskmorn here just to show you guys an example of something, all right? We're going to go ahead and we're going to choose Duskmorn. We're going to do Rarity. We're going to do only Mythics, okay? Because I want to see that. And we're going to sort and view price, high to low. Okay? So I just want you guys to see something here. So all of these cards look pretty awesome, all right? And Magic the Gathering players, we love to pimp our decks. Just like you guys love to pimp your decks who play with gold foils and stuff. Except in Splinterlands, you also get like further benefit than it being super cool and just being like a good flex, you know? You also earn more on your battles, which is obviously amazing. Now, that being said though, if we wanted to add some more value to packs, why not start creating special promo versions of, it could be every card in the set, that there's only a very finite amount that are available within the packs. Now, I'm not saying a new card, okay? Because like I just finished saying, I don't really know if I like the concept of there only being 100 of any card that exists, especially if it's meta. Then it's going to be an unfair advantage and no one can catch up from those 100 people, especially if it's like one person owns 5 and just delegates them throughout their accounts and none are available to even be rented or show up on the secondary market, whatever. I just feel like that might be like too much advantage just based on, hey, you were here first and you got this card, you know? So here's my other way though. If we are taking a look at, let's look at this guy here. He looks to be the most expensive one. Overlord of the Hauntwoods, the Japanese showcase, all right? We look at Overlord of the Hauntwoods. His price right now for Overlord of the Hauntwoods, okay, is $270 for this guy in this super cool fracture foil printing, okay? So you got this magic card, Overlord of Hauntwoods, that people are paying $270 for it, all right? Now, the thing with cards like this, and this is a very important distinction between what would happen if you're just like, here's 100 really expensive cards and they're all that exist, versus here's a promo card of Overlord of the Hauntwoods that's worth $270, but I can right now go over here and I can get just a regular, that's showcase. Let me just find him again. Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Where are you in regular mode? Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Here we go. But I can get a regular Overlord of the Hauntwoods, non-foil, nothing special about it, not $230, but $9.86 in non-foil. Okay, so do you see that? Do you see the big difference? They're both exactly the same card. Oh, previous card. This one's actually foil. All right, this one's actually foil, so you can probably even get it cheaper. I don't know why it's not showing me the cheapest of the cheap version of Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Oh wow. All right, so it's weird. They want more for it in non-foil than in foil. Okay, well that's strange, but it's anyway. 986. Let's even just say 2628. Okay, that's still a far cry from 218. Okay, and here's another different version of it. This one's not foil, but it's still the showcase version, $50. So you have the same card here, $25, $50, $218, and they're all the same card. So why not go ahead and do something crazy? Like, be like, you know what? In every one, we're gonna print like 10 million packs or something like that. Okay, like they did with Rebellion. And I like the way they did Rebellion. They printed packs, but they're burning those packs. And despite all the packs that were available, very few of them are actually gonna in the end be available, right? But picture this, okay? You've got out of that 50 million packs or the 5 million packs or whatever they're gonna do, you've got say 5 Overlord of the Hauntwoods that are max level gold foil animated art that are spread throughout those 5 million packs. You got 5 of every mythic, 5 of every one of our legendaries, I'll say. 5 of every legendary exists in gold foil, max level animated art. Out of all those 5 million Rebellion packs, inside of it, there's 5 of this card that's max level gold foil. You know, could end up that 3 of them even get burnt, you know, and it could end up that one of them is still in unopened packs. But the person who opens one of those cards, even though you can get the regular Overlord of the Hauntwoods for $26.28, but the person who opens the max level foil animated version of the Overlords of the Hauntwoods in Splinterlands terms, they are going to have a collectible piece that is just collectible from the standpoint of maybe it earns you even more glint. Like maybe the glint amount that it adds is like plus 20% instead of plus 10. Okay. So, I mean, they can do something like that, but it will be such an exclusive card that there will be such a high value placed on these guys, even though it doesn't limit the playability of the card and the accessibility of the card for other people. Because you can always get the 26-28 version of Overlord of the Hauntwoods. You don't have to have the max level gold foil animated art version of Overlords of the Hauntwoods. You can totally just have the regular version and still play the game. And that's where I think that we should try and like deviate away from 100 of this promo card that's going to be super OP because we want to command the highest prices for it, you know, and it could be meta warping, and there will only be 100 of them, and the 100 people who have them are going to have like a way higher win percentage than everyone else who exists. Versus you want to add value, boom, max level, gold foil, animated art, Overlord of the Hauntwoods equivalent in Splinterlands, 5 of them, maybe 10 of them amidst that whole 5 million packs. You know, and you maybe do it that way for every card. So there's 5 of every card in the set that exists that way. Commons, rares, mythics, legendaries, all of those. There's 5 of each one that exists in that super ultra promo. So even the commons, even if someone pulls a common version of one of those cards, the animated foil ones or something like that, it'll still be like money, man. It'll still be like money. At least the value of a max level gold foil, right? Which is going to keep people cracking. People are going to be like, oh my God, I bought 10 packs. I got one of these cards. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. That would add so much excitement to the game. Imagine it being like you open it. Oh my God, you know it's a legendary. You know you got a legendary. Is it going to be a legendary gold foil? Or is it going to be the legendary ultra gold foil animated art max level gold foil? It's just like another level of collectability without putting those restrictions on it of having to be like, oh, there's only 100 that exist. Sorry, if you don't have it, you're just screwed from a competitive play point. This is the way that I think that they should do it moving ahead. This is the way that I think would like entice a lot of people and would get like, dude, you think that Vugtis isn't going to be like someone like, I have a bounty. You think Vugtis isn't going to be like, I am going ahead and I'm putting a bounty on these cards if they're opened. And then Brybro's like, no, I want them. And who else would be it? What's the name of that one guy? I can't remember his name. He's the sheriff or whatever like that. He'd be like, no, I want it. You know, the people who want like the prestige, and also if it gave like a 20% glint bonus instead of just a 10% for gold foil, like that would be cool too. You know? I just think that this would be a great idea. And sure, you can put a mint number on them too. You should put a mint number on them as well. Be like, oh, you got out of the 10 that exist, you got number 3, but guess what? number 1 and 2 still haven't even been opened. They still exist within the packs. If they weren't burned already in some of the packs that were burned. You know? Like, that's the big mystery, man. And it's almost like when you do lands, right? When you do lands and you're like, hey, in this region, the castle hasn't been opened yet. And therefore, the unopened, the unrevealed plots from that region are worth more because one of them could be the castle. You know, it's that kind of thing, you know? So I think that would be a great way to go ahead and move along with these promos. I think that in the next set, after Rebellion, whatever it ends up being, that this is the way they should market it, man. They should slide in some ultra promos in there that when you rip those guys open, you're just going to be like, my mind is blown. This is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And you know what? I'm not gated from, I can sell this card and I can still play with the card, you know, but I can play with the 26-28 version of the card, not the $218.25 version of the card. Although for these guys, it'll probably be like $525, you know, $550 or whatever, because that's even one step up from gold foil, right? You got the regular foils, you got the gold foils, then you got like the animated gold foil max level, and it's like there isn't even a sound to express it. It's just like the sound of open mouth, like the sound of coins dripping down onto a pile of coins underneath it, you know, and your cup will overflow with the goodness. That's how those guys are going to be. But that's my little rant that I have for you guys there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm not feeling the greatest here today, so I'm going to call it a quickie. But I hope that you guys enjoyed that. What do you guys think? Like, Ank says that he agrees with this kind of a philosophy. And like I said, it's very easy. Look, you can get it for $26.28, or here's the foil equivalent, $50, or the super ultra promo $218, and it's all the same card, you know, it's all the same card. So maybe this is something that's worth bringing up to Matt. Either way, what I'm going to do here, I know I haven't released YouTube content in a while. It's just hard for me to again find the time, or else I'd be doing more of that. Like I said, summer here in Canada, it's so short. You got to just take advantage of it. And I know that as things get colder here in Canada, and as I've got to really turn on the heat in my igloo, you got to be careful with that though. I mean, these igloos here that I'm in right now, I mean, it's a very fine line between overheating it and melting your igloo versus kind of just keeping it at that right temperature. So you gotta be careful with that. I can't clip, unfortunately, Ank. My computer is too bad to make clips. I can't load a video and actually make a clip. So sadly, that's why normally you guys who watch my show will often see me say, and thanks for watching, I'll be back. And then I literally come back and I just do another segment. But I have to do that in the end of video and then start a new video basically every time because my computer's too bad to be able to run video editing software. Womp, 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 womp. That's why I'm the guy who buys the $26 Overlord of the Hauntwoods, not the $218 Overlord of the Hauntwoods, you know? Oh, you would clip it. All right, cool. Yeah, you get to clip it. I don't even know how to do that. So, all right, my friends. Thanks so much for joining me here today. Like I said, we're going to call it a little quits. You can tell my throat is starting to go already and everything like that. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, The Fizz, thanks so much, my man. It's in good hands. It's in good hands. If I get the opportunity to play, it'll probably be with my D&D group. And I'll let you know. Hopefully I can get to it before Christmas holidays, which might end up being the next time that I get a chance to hang around with the guys and play games that aren't dedicated to Dungeons and Dragons time. It's just so hard to get together as, you know, friends these days. And that's a lot of the reason why I also love Splinterlands, you know. It's part of what got me away from Magic. I used to play Magic all the time. I had a dedicated Magic group. We all started having kids. We all started having more intense jobs. And, you know, it's just, you just can't get together on the Friday nights like you used to and even play a Friday night Magic or go to a pre-release. The time's just not there. You know, just like the time isn't there for me to grind for an hour and a half a day in Modern, but I still love to participate in the ecosystem, talk about Splinterlands, and hang out with you guys. So until next time, my friends, it's truly been a pleasure. Thanks so much for joining me. Thursdays between 9 and 11 Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. If you guys liked what you see, like, share, subscribe, do those cool things. I'll catch you all next week. Take care, everybody. See you around Pretoria. Peace, my friends.